Hey guys, it's Steph. I'm here hanging out. I just want to talk a little bit about the earnings call yesterday that Disney had out. I did a video. You must see it. This will be a little more in depth. The things I forgot were Disney's cruise lines. I think they're up. Actually, I've heard that there are rumors that they're thinking about selling them. And let's see, IPs that I've heard that might be for sale. The Muppets, Tron. It depends on what exactly the what exactly is going on. So I don't what they have to do is they have to, once they get their earning statements from their divisions, they have to go through and to see where they can cut. And they're gonna take a good hard look at divisions that aren't making money. And I would suspect at this point, the cruise lines are probably gone. Oh, and please hit the like button, please, please, please. I would suggest that the cruise lines are probably gone. And what else? Oh, I can't remember. There's something else and I forgot it. But this is a big deal. What Doomcock is saying, I believe him. And the reason why is because you can't have almost $5 billion loss in one quarter and expect to be business as usual. I believe him when he says stuff about Kennedy and Midnight's Edge too. Midnight's Edge, I'm going to tell you guys, Midnight's Edge is a very good channel because they're fans, but they're not cheerleaders, if you know what I mean. They're very logical, they're very methodical. Andre is a former financial guy, so he's a little calmer than most people are. He's a little more he's like the Spock of this whole thing. So, and if he says there's something going on, hey, Oiler Greg, how you doing? If he says there's something going on, then there has to be. You can't go through this. We're basically, I mean, when you look at 40 million people may lose their houses here in the United States, and you think of that economy doesn't hit Disney, you don't think things have to change? And you don't think it's going to hit Lucasfilm? What are you, nuts? I mean, you honestly think the people who think this are simpletons. They're simps. They have to be. You can't run a company like that. George Lucas knew that. And I'm not a Harvard MBA. I'm not a, Wharton School of Business MBA, but damn it, I know that. You can't. So the idea that nothing's changed and that Kennedy's going to be there and she's going to get her contract re-upped, that's bullshit. Why? I want you guys to go through this again very slowly if you don't believe me. Hey Deej, how you doing? If you don't believe me. Force Awakens made $2.3 billion. It net about $700 million. Rogue One net about, hey Story Man. I probably wouldn't do that, but let me finish. Rogue One made about 1.3 billion. Yeah, probably net about 100 billion, 200 billion. We'll just say that. Then TLJ came out, and I'll say that net about, I think, about $300 million. Solo came out and lost $250 million. And then we had The Rise of Skywalker, which barely limped across the line at $1 billion. And after the monster reshoots and the monster everything, hey Steve, it probably, didn't make money. So and then of course, you're looking at the lack of merchandise sales, which are in the toilet. I mean, no, they're not in the toilet. They're in the sewer spinning around, with all the rats and all the poop and everything. Hey, Paul, how are you doing? And hey, Oiler Greg. it's so saying that nothing's changing at Lucasfilm is stupid. It's outright effing stupid. And for people, oh yeah, it is overpriced. It is. It is. It is. Really, Steve, it is. And for people, the same sitting there, saying that, well, Kennedy is really powerful. Kennedy's at home. Oh, I agree with you on that one. I mean, Marvel. I'll talk about that in a second. I mean, from what the guys at Midnight's Edge, it's Tom Connors and Andre, she's home now. She's working from home. In fact, I'm going to give all you people in California a little bit of a job. Start looking at the Chamber of Commerce. Try to figure out where you can find business licenses, because every business, hey Brian, and just look at every business, the new business that's being licensed, and look, keep your ears to the ground, because that's how you're going to find out if she's actually if she's actually building her all-girl production studio. Maybe Ryan Johnson and all the rest of these flying clowns can go there and work, because they're just so happy. But what else? Okay, let's talk about Marvel. Marvel going woke. Marvel, they're probably going to sell Marvel Publishing. They're probably going to get out of that. And if they do, say goodbye to the Star Wars comics. All right. Now they could, farm out the comic books and things to another publisher. But I would say, because unless they do something about the authors, they need to quit. My opinion. Okay. And if you're new here and you haven't liked, hit the like button, please. But so I think they're probably going to sell Marvel Publishing. That's one of the things. About the Shanghai property. Now they're leasing it partially from China. And a lot of the people that work for the Shanghai property are Communist Party officials. And the administration doesn't like that. The problem we're having with China right now is affecting Disney too. Okay, that's Disney's fault. They made a deal with the devil. Okay, so my give a damn doesn't work here. Okay, you guys are only thinking yuan and dollars, okay, or whatever or whatever they call the Chinese currency. You weren't thinking about right from wrong and where all this product you're trying to sell and where all these people come from. All right. Now, the Hong Kong property, I think they bought outright, but I have heard that they're waiting for guidance about what to do with that from the Department of Justice. Okay. Now, another problem that they're having that no one ever talks about. The Federal Trade Commission is looking at them for violating the Antitrust Act, buying 20th Century Fox Studios and Fox Searchlight. So that's a big problem, because they could be forced to sell a lot of stuff they don't want to sell. I could see Chapek very happily parting with the Fox stuff, going, we have enough of a catalog, we don't need them. I could see him parting even maybe with Marvel. Well, no, not Marvel. I could see him parting with a lot of stuff. I actually, if they had to, could see him, if they were told they had to, I could see him being very happily parting with Star Wars, parting with Lucasfilm. Hey, Brian. And the only reason why this would ever happen is if the Federal Trade Commission found them in violation of the Antitrust Act and said, you need to break up your company. And then we'd see what would happen. Then we might see something that's a little bit, catastrophic. I think for Lucasfilm too. They need right now. They need somebody either that knows what they're doing or a company to back them up. Now, Bob Chapek, from what I can tell, just from what, I don't know. I mean, I don't know who'd buy it. I don't know who would want it. There is a rumor out there that Rupert Murdoch actually has to buy it. I don't know. But let me finish this. Bob Chapek, from what I've discerned from the stuff that Doom Kaika said and the stuff that Midnight's Edge have said, and Clownfish TV, which is a great channel if you're not sub to them. Geeky Sparkles and Neon Rock, and they have a really cool dog. Hey, Master John. Yeah, I would too, actually. I think that would be a good thing to see them back at Dark Horse. Chapek, hi, by the way. Chapek is a very serious guy. He ran the parks. And he's the cut and shredder. And I don't necessarily think that Iger, who's been trying to blame him for all this, because he's worried about his legacy, and his legacy is done. I mean, let me put it to you bluntly. Iger's, in my opinion, if he's not gone, he's going to be. When the divisions, let me go back to this. When the divisions of Disney come in with their quarterly earnings, it's going to be ugly. And then you'll probably see layoffs and Disney slimming down. I'm not saying being broken up, but I am saying you might see stuff being sold off too. They need money. What's one of their biggest problems? They're close, if they're not $100 billion in debt, they're close to it. This was not out there. Hey, yeah, I see you, Sakori. I see them, I could almost see Disney going back to itself being Pixar, Walt Disney Studios, and that's it. And the parks and the hotels, and that's it. They've taken on too much. Now, will they keep? Hey, Maze. I would too. I mean, when people go on there and saying that she's not gone, and we know who that is, Matt Kaddish, and other people saying Lucas isn't coming back. Take it from me, he's been back. He's been back for a while. Oh, they are well over $100 billion in debt. They are. And this is what's gone on at Lucasfilm itself has been a catastrophic problem. And it's going to take catastrophic change to fix it. And that means a lot of people, including people I think that we hate, are probably going to be gone. All right. So that's, and why do I say that this is true? Hey, Mike, how you doing? Mike Alonso, guys. Hey, Mike, I am Cantina Maven on Twitter, and I'm following you there. So follow me back. Why do I think it's all true? Look at the money they're losing. I didn't start really looking at this until last fall. And right now, the stock is inflated by like $40 or almost $50 right now. And they're buying their own stock back to keep the price up. My opinion is this. Listen to me. I think the SEC might end up having to look into that too, because something ain't right. Something ain't right. Now, I have friends who are probably happily making money on it right now. I would tell them to get the hell out while they still can. All right? But also there's a rule. You don't get into the stock market for the short haul. I mean, the day traders are day traders. But you don't get into the stock market for the short haul. You get in it for the long haul. Okay? And that's the thing. I mean, but Disney stock is only worth about $75, $80, maybe $90 a share, which is, I wouldn't buy it. I mean, why? Because you're buying something that's not worth what you're paying for it. all right? And, we've all gone through that. Well, I buy this, buy that, and then it turns out not to be worth it. Okay, it's what it's got is it's got its name brand. Now you look at the basics, the parks they will come back, but it's going to take a couple of years, all right, a couple of years. The movie business, I honestly think that the movie business. Hey, Mike. I'm Cantina Maven at on Twitter, so you can follow me back. A lot of these guys follow me there, like Sakori and Maze. Actually, should get you and Maze on a live stream someday. That would be cool. Anyway, what was I talking about? The fundamentals are there. Yeah, Aaron C. I agree with that. Here's what they need to do. Let's talk a little bit about what they need to do with Lucasfilm. First off, they need to get rid of the ST, completely get rid of it. A, it's not making any money. B, it's the fans, we all mock it, right? C, it's garbage. No one likes it. I mean, even people that said they like it hated it. Okay, in Hollywood. So what's the thing? If you hear anybody in the background, that's my husband working out. He's in his office, lifting weights. Anyway, he's teleworking today. But anyway, but Lucasfilm still has fundamentals too. It's got the basics for what they need to make money. They're just not doing it right. You can't take Star Wars and then reimagine it into some sort of feminazi hag fest, which is what they did, and no one likes it. So, yeah, he is. So this is what they need to do. Get rid of the ST, get rid of the publishing. I'll get back to you on that one, Brian. Get rid of all the books. I mean, just decanonize everything. Claudia Gray, Daniel Jose Older, Justina Ireland, all the rest of that shit. Hey, slubs, all the rest of that garbage. And then you get rid of that and you go back to the basics, which I honestly, from the things we've been hearing with the Kenobi thing and the stuff about George, I think they are. I mean, there's something I've heard about a Star Wars verse, which would be kind of cool. So we'll see what happens on there. But they have to fix a Skywalker saga first, because no one is going to come back. No one is going to come back if they don't fix Han, Luke, and Leia. All right, if they don't apologize for what they've done to these characters. No one. I'm gonna give you an example. Y'all, if you're all on Twitter and you saw what was going on, do I say, yes, I do think there's a Lucas cut. I'm pretty sure there is. Midnight's Edge basically said they thought there was. He's been involved in and out with this since Rogue One. He's the one that saved Rogue One, by the way. He went and helped. I mean, the Lucas cut is the cut that he and JJ actually did together. That's what that is. And that was the cut that Kennedy talked Iger and that idiot Alan Horn into trashing. She didn't do that on her own. She also talked them into taking away the creative rights from JJ, which he's only about that much better than Rian Johnson, that much. But with George there, he might have actually had something, But they have to. Hey, Chris. I haven't done one in a while, and there's lots of reasons. Maze, if you come on here, I'm gonna make you a wrench. Okay. So if you comment again, I'm gonna make you a wrench. So just because I trust you, la la la. But hi slubs. But yeah, you guys saw what happened to Gina Carano on Twitter. She put a she put this thing out, and it was a picture of, it looked like a brown shirt, stormtrooper rally in Hey Austin, back in the early 1930s, and there's a man standing in the middle of it with his arms, crossed. She's not getting slaughtered. She's actually slaughtering them back. And she posted it, and of course SJWs started attacking her. And it's like, do they even know what the picture is? No, because they're morons and they're not educated. And if they did understand why she did, but then they'd really be pissed. Disney's going to come out of this very different. I think we're all mad at Disney, but there's too many people with too many jobs at stake. I don't want to see it die. I want to see it do better. Okay, for the good of the people in Orlando, Florida, and in Anaheim, California, and it's an American brand. I mean, why would we want it to die? They've just got to, they got to figure out a good business model. And right now, kissing Chinese ass and kissing SJW ass is not working. Okay, it's not. And all right, so it does need to be erased. Well, you see, the thing about buying it back is when Doomcock started talking about the stuff that he's heard, stuff that I actually kind of think is true, as you guys know. I don't think Chapek wants to sell it, but I do think that he's not an SJW, and he doesn't want to let them run rampant. I think he realizes that what they've been doing at Lucasfilm has been garbage. I can't imagine a guy. All right, I'll get back to that one on that. I can't imagine a guy that, if you ever see pictures of Bob Chapek, he looks like a linebacker. He looks like a CEO. He looks like a take no shit. I'm a businessman, roll up my sleeves, short white shirt with a clip-on tie, real businessman. As far as there being indictments, you'd have to prove that Iger and somebody else are manipulating the stock prices. And it doesn't necessarily have to be Disney. It could be somebody else. All right, that's, but that's for the FTC and the Securities Exchange Commission to look into. I mean, I'm just here, but I do think that that somebody's manipulating the stock price on purpose. And yesterday's earnings call, when you look at the fundamentals, there's no reason for it to have gone up, as far as high as it did. $127 a share from 117. Come on. And they lost $5 billion? I mean, all right, I'm gonna let you guys go because I've got to go see my horse, but I want you guys to think about this. Disney with Disney Plus is opening it up to different markets every 2 months. So them saying they have 100 million subscribers, they're not counting people who quit. Okay. Oh yeah, it is freedom. They're not counting people who quit. Okay, and just unsubbed, got rid of the subscription. So, my thing is, I'm like, there's no reason for people to be buying that stock at all with the information they gave us. In fact, I have two friends, and they both have stock in Disney. Hey, Tauntaun girl. I think you drive a hard bargain, and I don't think he's necessarily going to take it back, but I think he will be involved. And I like Jon Favreau. Jon Favreau is one of us. And after watching what Gina Carano did to the SJWs, There are a lot of people who think the same things we do that are working right now on at least The Mandalorian. So, you know, anyway, what was I saying? These two have held Disney stock for a long, long time. And, it's hard. They were up to $152 a share. They went down to $79 a share. All right, think about that. That's more than half. Oh yeah, well, yeah, it is. It's almost more than, it's almost half. I am like, there's something going on here, but again, the stock market is something you hold your money in with hope that it goes up. And when you're ready to sell, Favreau won't bow to the Disney studio execs. He's the only one that's making anything that's remotely successful. And the reason why is because George is helping him. In fact, George is writing the scripts. All right, I forget. What was going on here? Somebody, all right, let me go down through here. Austin, let me think. The only way they could do the sequel trilogy, the right way, George's sequel, or one that's keeping in tune with Star Wars and not this garbage, is to do a digital animation. And I'm gonna let you guys go here. I want you to go and look at the kind of the trailers for the Old Republic, and go watch them. BioWare does a really good job with this, and I think if you did it that way, you could actually make the sequel trilogy. That was pure CGI, and I liked that. I know a lot of people didn't, but I liked it. But I'm also going to admit, I think when a person's older, it's easier to do CGI on them than it is when they're young, because Carrie looked like a wax figure. Yeah, no, Old Republic, KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic. Look for the one about Empress Valen, about Valen and her mother. Watch how they did that animation, because it's part animation, but it's also part something else. And I think if they did it that way, you could actually really, people would come and watch it. I would go and watch it. But anyway, I'm gonna rock, and I'll talk to you guys later. Maybe I'll do this once a week again, or whenever. So, see you around the galaxy, and y'all be good.